ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sami Center for Performing Arts and the 25th anniversary of the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association. At this time, if you would please give a warm welcome to our co-hosts of today's ceremony, Becky Thorson and Clay Norris.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all once again to the 25th anniversary of our association, and of course tonight, the special focus on the class of 2022. I would like to ask you all right now, please silence your cell phones. If you want to take video and things like that, that is fine, but silence them please if you would. And at this time, I would like to, first of all, I would like to introduce a couple of our escorts, a few of them. Miss Connie Bevins and Miss Diane Sanders. And then our award presenters, Declan Donovan and Finn Donovan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce the president of the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association, Ralph Klusman.
I'm excited to be here. I'm glad that you're here to help us celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association. So thank you for being here. One of the things I wanted to make sure I told you today was that of all the people that have come through our lives, there are some of those that have not been able to attend because they passed on too early. And I think about all these people who have made such an impact. I've lost several through the last 2 or 3 years, and I know that all of us have lost people. And I also want to take this moment to just pause and remember the memory of John Sim. John is the one that brought me on the board. I got the chance to mentor with him and find out what exactly was going on in that brain of his. And it was invaluable for me to be able to do what we have to do with Clay's help and Maddie's help and Becky's help and all the members of the board and all the volunteers and all the staff. So if we could just take 15 seconds, let's take a moment of silence for all those people that we loved. Thank you for that. Lastly, it was a week ago today, I was standing on the stage at the Cavern Club in Liverpool, taking part in International Beatle Week. And it was a celebration like we have going on here today, and especially with times like we've been going through here lately. There's one thing I think we can all agree, is that the music is what will bring us back together. And if it's not just the music, it's the fact that the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association is absolutely committed to making sure we tell the stories of all those people who made such a big difference through SaveIowaStories.com. Check that out. We're doing these little vignettes, just like a la Ken Burns, where we can get them affixed to the Library of Congress, where people can find these records and hear the stories told firsthand. And then secondly, the education and the opportunities we provide to the students, just like the winners that you have on stage here from the I.R.R.M.A Talent Contest. We've got to do more. We're committed to doing more, and with your help, we're going to make a tremendous impact going forward for much longer than the next 25 years in the future. So thanks for being here. Appreciate you very much.
Iowa Rocks Talent is a statewide program for musicians 21 and under, developed to encourage participation in music outside of school, grow awareness of music trends across the state, and provide an opportunity for professional development of young rockers. Iowa Rocks Talent accepts contestants' videos from across Iowa. The first prize includes a free recording session at Catamount Recording in Cedar Falls. Iowa Rocks Talent is an integral part of our mission at the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association. to provide live performance and educational opportunities for the youth of Iowa. Please welcome to the stage Adeline Buckhead, the Iowa Rocks Talent Individual Winner.
You may stay just a moment. Also, we'd like to please welcome to the stage the members of our Iowa Rocks Talent Band winner for this year, Jana. These young people have done just an absolutely fine job. Congratulations. And let me tell you, it was a fierce competition. I had a couple judges get mad at me, like, why did you name me a judge? Because it was so close. All right, the Spirit Award is presented to those dedicated to and actively promoting rock and roll music in Iowa. Spirit Award recipients have contributed above and beyond to the betterment of rock and roll in our state, whether they have lived in Iowa or not. This year, 3 stand out for their outstanding talent and dedication, with which they have kept the beat of rock and roll going.
Jeremy Ober first began performing at the age of 16 in 2002. In 2004, he started the band Brutal Republic and has fronted the band since. Along with his duties with Brutal Republic, he's been a part of numerous other projects, including Cheap Drinks, Vinyl, and Just Around Midnight. With his various projects, Jeremy has had the opportunity to open for Foreigner, Creedence Clearwater Revisited, and Boston. Brutal Republic has released 2 albums to date, and they're currently writing material for a 2022 release. Please welcome to the stage, Jeremy Ober.
Thank you much. Just a quick thanks to all my bandmates from Brutal Republic, past and present, all my guys from Lone Tree Revival. Special thanks to everyone from Fort Dodge, my favorite place to play, and to Chris Carr. Also, special thanks to him for all the help he's given me throughout the years. Thank you.
From Clarksville, Iowa, Maddie Poppy first entered the national spotlight when she competed in and won the 16th season of American Idol. Since her 2018 win, she has released her album Whirlwind, received a People's Choice Award, and has appeared on The Kelly Clarkson Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Live with Kelly and Ryan, and Good Morning America. Maddie has also come right here to Ornaments Park, Iowa 3 times in the last 2 years to perform for our association. Maddie unfortunately could not be here with us today because she is on a tour right now in the state of California. But please welcome a member of our board of directors, Janice Hill, to accept the award on Maddie's behalf. Well, Connie Valens will accept the award.
Janice Hill and her beautiful talent and her appearances here in OT, I accept her award. Thank you.
Amadeus Rossi has spent the last 20 years dedicated to transforming the Des Moines music scene into a prospering music hub. In 2001, he purchased his bar, The Lift, and began to form connections with individuals and venues in the Des Moines music scene. He has worked with Vaudeville Muse, the Des Moines Music Coalition, and helped form the LLC SA Present. Amadeo has had a hand in various music series and events in Des Moines, including Nightfall on the River, the 8035 Music Festival, Little Big Fest, and Gross Domestic Product. Unfortunately, he could not be with us today, but we would like to recognize all the local artists, as he mentioned, dedicated staff and volunteers in the nonprofit Des Moines Music Coalition. He says, music has the power not only to entertain, but transform our lives and communities. Please give a hand for Amadeus Rossi.
Just re-roll with it. The John Senn Legacy Award was created to recognize individuals that have given their time and talents to benefit the legacy of our association in a long-lasting and highly impactful way. As the first recipient of this award, Naoma Senn perfectly embodies its spirit. Since the association's founding in 1997, Naoma has volunteered countless hours. When the museum opened in 2003, she contributed enormously to getting it up and running. She can be found working wherever she is needed, either folding t-shirts, hanging up banners, selling 50-50 tickets, or helping set up or tear down her events. And believe me, she does that every week. Even in the weeks before this year's induction, she volunteered her time to ensure everything would go perfectly. Naoma has contributed greatly to the success of this organization. Please welcome to the stage, and I have the honor of presenting Naoma Senn.
This is indeed an honor. I very much appreciate this. I know that John is looking down on us all today. And it was his, it's probably an important day to him that when he seen these inductees walk across the stage and receive a plaque, it was in his heart that he just thought everybody should be recognized for the accomplishments that these people made for the rock and roll music. So, John, look down on us and help us go through tonight. We love you.
Although he didn't much care for rock and roll during his lifetime, Bill Monroe's high-energy mandolin playing influenced his sound. Considered the father of bluegrass, Bill had a long and prosperous career. He was recognized with numerous awards, including induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame, and received 2 Grammy Awards. Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys song, "That's All Right, Mama," was covered by Elvis Presley when he released his first single in 1954, a turning point in American music. Bill Monroe passed away in 1996, 4 days before his 85th birthday. Let's welcome to the stage a member of the board of directors, Bill Hillman, to accept this award on behalf of Bill Monroe.
On behalf of Bill Monroe, who couldn't be here tonight because he died 25 years ago. He came to Shenandoah, Iowa for his first job. I'm not going to start over. So Bill Monroe came to Shenandoah, Iowa for his first full-time job around his brother. And one of his brothers quit the band, and he happened to be the lead player in the band and the lead singer. Bill Monroe happened to be really young, had a really high voice, and all he played was mandolin. And so Shannon, Iowa is where bluegrass started, and wasn't named until he went back to Kentucky and got a band called the Bluegrass Boys. So that's a little bit of history. I couldn't hear what she was saying about him, but he's the father of bluegrass. So kind of a big deal. And then he's also in the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's one of only 5 people that have done that. So quite a guy, and invented a new kind of music, which led into rock and roll, and here we are today. So nice. On behalf of him, thanks.
Mark Sampson got his start working and painting drag racing cars in Mason City, Iowa. His love of music, however, would eventually lead him to tinkering with amps and painting guitars for Prince. Mark co-founded his own amplifier company, Matchless Amps, in 1989. And if you come to our museum, check out the list of modern-day rock stars that use Matchless Amps. It's unbelievable. Over the years, he has had extensive experience working with and building amplifiers. Today, he owns Star Amp Company. Please welcome to the stage, Mark Sampson.
I'd like to thank you all for coming, and I'd like to thank God and the Lord Jesus Christ, whom I serve, for the talent He gave me, the wisdom and knowledge to know how to utilize the talent, my parents for giving me the opportunity to chase my dreams, all my friends and family and support group for propping me up and helping me through tough times, and anybody that's helped me along the way, and most of all, I'd like to thank my wife. Thank you.
The Capitol Theater was built in downtown Burlington, Iowa in 1937. The Art Deco jewel was a popular meeting spot for many, eventually closing in 1977. In 2009, plans were put in motion to renovate the theater. Capitol Theater was reopened in 2012 with an expanded stage and additional annex space. Today, the intimate 367-seat venue hosts independent and classic films, as well as local, regional, and national touring artists. The theater is also host to the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association's Satellite Museum. Please welcome to the stage Executive Director of the Capitol Theater, Tammy McCoy.
Thank you so much. This is such an honor. First of all, I have notes because this is not what I usually do. I want to thank the regional consultants of our area, Dennis Duke, Gary Richards, and Diane Sanders, as well as Ralph Kuzman, who's been a long-time friend of the Burlington Capitol Theater, as well as president of the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association. I'd also like to thank the board for honoring the Capitol Theater with this wonderful reward. We are so excited about the things that we're going to be doing in the future. We're right now in the middle of a campaign to grow what we do. We're moving from a theater that started in 1937 as a movie theater to now be a performing arts center. So we will be doing education for all ages, from little ones all the way through adults. We've partnered with our local college and really focusing on some education, really broadening our entertainment and focusing on social connections. So a lot of fun things coming our way, and we'd love for you to come visit us in Burlington. We're right there on the Mississippi River. And one thing you could try and come and see us for is our annual Old Couch Music Fest on the streets every August. So check us out. We'd love to see you, and thank you so much for this honor.
WLS first hit the airwaves in 1924 as part of the Sears Agricultural Foundation. In 1960, the radio station flipped to a top 40 format. Hundreds of thousands of Iowans listen nightly to WLS Music Radio 89. Its 50,000-watt booming signal could easily be heard in 38 states and several Canadian provinces. Reception reports were received from as far away as Sweden, Hawaii, and Australia. In addition to being the first American station to play the Beatles on radio here, WLS broke ground in the concert industry on many fronts. August 23rd, 1989, WLS AM played its last song, Just You and Me by Chicago, before switching to its current talk radio format. Please welcome to the stage Stephanie Tishner with WLS.
Thank you. This is what happens when you don't have a babysitter. This is Lucy, my 7-year-old. I'd like to acknowledge a special person in the audience today, our WLS historian, Scott Childers, in the front row, recording right now. Thank you, Scott, and his lovely wife, Karen. And on behalf of everyone at WLS AM, I'd like to thank you for this incredible honor. It's been almost a century since the world's largest store was created, and it became a 50,000-watt radio station. We have evolved from the home of the barn dance in the 1920s to a top 40 station in the 1960s and to a news and talk station in the 1990s. Music radio, WLS, has been home to legendary names in rock and roll music since that first record was played back on May 2nd, 1960. That was Alley Oop by the Hollywood Argyles for all of the kids in the audience. WLS is home to personalities who helped make those songs top hits in Chicago, Chicagoland, and in Iowa. Remember, it was our DJs who talked over the intro to songs as you were trying to record them on that tape recorder in your bedroom. Names like Larry Lujak, John Records Landecker, Yvonne Daniels, Clark Webber, and that wild Italian, Dick Biondi, all trigger fond memories of listening to those good old rock and roll radio on WLS in the car, at a party, and for some of you, through a transistor radio tucked under your pillow at night. I'm honored, and we're honored at WLS, to be included in this class, along with all these other esteemed names who've contributed to rock and roll. Thank you.
Ron Sorensen was first introduced to radio in high school, working for KFMG in Des Moines. By the time he knew what he wanted to be when he grew up, he was already running the radio station. Ron Sorensen has worked for every incarnation of KFMG and for several years had his own cable radio station, KBLE. Today he continues to work at KFMG in its current nonprofit community radio format. Please welcome to the stage, Ron Sorensen.
Hello. On behalf of Ron Sorensen, I am happy to accept his award. Thank you.
Bruce Wozniak has been part of the North Iowa rock radio scene since 1978, when he moved to Clear Lake, Iowa to work at the newly launched KZEV radio station. His fans appreciate the wide breadth of music he plays, from the Allman Brothers to Pink Floyd, and that he pays attention to listener requests. Today, Bruce could still be heard on radio airwaves on his night show, The Insubordination Train. Please welcome to the stage, Bruce Wozniak.
Is Bruce here? I think. Who's going to accept on Bruce's behalf? Thank you.
I know Bruce accepts that award gratefully.
Dan Byrne has released over 24 studio albums in the past 20 years, touring relentlessly through North America and Europe. In May of 2022, he opened for The Who in Memphis, Tennessee. He's written songs for many movies and TV shows in addition to the 3 kids records he's recorded since the birth of his daughter. Please welcome to the stage, Dan Byrne.
Thank you. It's a great honor. Never expected anything like this. I always loved songs. A long time ago, I would listen to the Monkees and the Beatles like everybody else, and all the hits on KCRG is what we listened to in Mount Vernon. Then I started listening to KUNI, and they played guys like Dylan and Phil Oakes and Woody Guthrie. And this was a revelation, because this wasn't 4 cool guys. This is just one guy. And I could imagine, you know, if I couldn't be 4 cool guys, I could be one dork. So I started writing songs. I never stopped. I probably never will. You know, now, if I ever get low or down, I can just get my Induction t-shirt out, find my name, and everything will be fine. Yeah. So thanks a lot. It's a great organization. I hope this is just the beginning, and I can do a lot of stuff with them. Thanks a lot.
The first of 4 boys, Tommy Bolin, was born in Sioux City on August 1st, 1951. He was brilliant. At the age of 12, he joined his first band. Shortly after that, he was asked to join Denny and the Triumphs at age 13. The band was a hit in the region, and after a personnel change, the group changed its name to A Patch of Blue, one of the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. In 1969, Tommy moved to Boulder, Colorado, where he formed Zephyr, and in less than a year, the band appeared on American Bandstand. Zephyr's debut album hit the Billboard 200 chart, and a star was born. In 1972, Tommy joined the James Gang and appeared on 2 albums, and David Coverdale became aware of the brilliant guitarist before hearing his work on Billy Cobham's Spectrum album, which led to an audition for Deep Purple, which Tommy then joined in 1975. The group disbanded in 76, and Tommy formed the Tommy Bolin Band, which experienced great success, signing with CBS Records, recording the signature album Private Eyes, and touring with Peter Frampton. Sadly, Tommy passed in 1976 at the age of 25, but his musical legacy continues through his music and the Tommy Bolin Festival, spearheaded by his brother Johnny, who is here to accept Tommy Bolin's induction into the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Please welcome to the stage, Johnny Bolin.
Yes, I love this. Pretty nice, huh? No. It says Hall of Fame Achievement, Lifetime Achievement Award, Tommy Bolin, individual artist. Did great work, Tommy. A little bit about Tommy?
Play.
Yep. I'll just do it anyway. Me and Tommy were both raised, my younger brother Rick, Sioux City, Iowa, in the 50s. My dad was a packing house worker who wanted us to play music for a living, and And boy, did he. He got us Tommy guitar, me a set of drums, and then Budgie he got a radio. But that was my dad's dream, and he worked very hard at making us what we are. It's really your parents that really get you to whatever your profession is. And ours happened to be music. So my dad played a little bit of harmonica, and that was about it. But he took us to our gigs, and he was there, and he didn't manage the band or nothing. But so we just grew up playing our instruments, and eventually went on to tour. And Tommy was a little bit older. He left school fairly early. At the age of 16, he got thrown out for his hair, and he played too loud, his band told him. There's no real reason for him to be in Sioux City any longer. So we moved out to Colorado. Band was Zephyr, Energy, and then he got better and better as time went on. And he kept doing 14, 15 albums. 2 solo records and 2 group ones with Deep Purple, and 2 with James Gang, and 2 with Zephyr. One with Billy Cobham, one with Alphonse Mouzon, and then he did some sessions with Moxie. But we lost him at the age of 25. But he did a lot of playing during those years. So he went down, one of the better guitar players in this world. He's from Sioux City, Iowa. Thanks.
Hey, Johnny.
You want him to stay?
Hey, Johnny, don't go too far here. We don't want Johnny to leave the stage quite yet. Johnny Bolin has contributed his percussion talents to an impressive 14 different albums over the course of his career. He has played with various groups and toured with the likes of Black Sabbath, Boston, and Jay Giles. Dedicated to his hometown community, Johnny is a faithful contributor to the Music Production Orchestra and still makes appearances in the Siouxland area. He has worked hard to maintain, as you could tell, Tommy Bolin's legacy by hosting the Tommy Bolin Music Festival every August for the past 25 years. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's congratulate Johnny Bolin for his amazing career.
Okay, now it's on to me. Me and Tommy being 3 years apart, I always would, he'd have his door open. I'd listen to him play all the time. So when he got better, I started playing the chairs, and I wanted to really play drums. My dad wanted me to, he thought, your brother plays guitar, maybe he can show you some stuff. I'll get you a guitar. He got me a Framus, and then he got me a Dan Electro, Longhorn, all really cool guitars. So I still play guitar today, but still wanted to play drums. So he got me a set of Ludwig, really nice kit. I was like 12 years old. And started playing kind of the same route as Tommy took, just playing bands locally, regionally. But my hair was kind of long, but not Tommy's was really long, and I didn't get thrown out of school. So I went the whole time. Well, I didn't graduate, but one credit short. So then, my son did though. So then I went on. What really was the,
You say what's in his?
I don't know, like the tail of the tape was when Tommy, I was 22, he was 25, and he'd been with James Gang, and he just left Purple. His album teaser was already out, and he always wanted his own band, that's what. So he had the Tommy Bolin band, the real thing. Bobby Berge played drums on it. He's from Sioux Falls. He's in the Hall of Fame. But he said he's going to have 3 or 4 drummers that year, and he had 4. And I followed Berge, and he called me to play Mile High Stadium in Denver with Peter Frampton and Steve Miller and Gary Wright. So that was my first band, like 50,000 people. And I was really worried because from there on, it's like, that's what I did for a living. That's what I really seriously did for a living. Whereas before I just played in bands and did the circuit, and I thought that was going to be my life. And then he passed. I made it out to California to get his stuff. And I met Freddie Salem, who was with the Outlaws. And then from that, he joined the Outlaws, and I moved to Akron. But I went down to, he got me a gig in Florida. So I played with these Cuban guys, and then met a keyboard player that needed a band. So I went up to, he flew us up to New York. And he's with RCA. And we toured for 3 years. And then I came back to Iowa. And me and John Bartle formed the band DVC. And had 2 albums out. Then we lost our record deal. Then I went on to play with a band called Dare Force, one of the bigger bands in Minneapolis, where we moved. And then Black Oak, I was playing some gig with opening up for him. And the bass player said, Jim needs a drummer. And Dare Force was breaking up. So I went Black Oak, and I've been with them ever since. That was 1988. So Jim Dandy says hi. He'd love to come to your rescue, but he's got to have a couple bucks to get up here. He doesn't have much right now. But, huh? We got to go. Well, we got to go. Anyway. Thank you, everybody. I love y'all. Thank you, guys. My son.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, part of the, kind of people coming and whispering in our ears is that Bruce Wozniak is here. So coming back on the stage to accept his award is Bruce Wozniak.
I see some friendly faces out there. Where's my gang? You out in the back there? All right, my prize winners. Everybody get prizes, come to the place, have a great time today. This thing is heavy. Yeah, it is. I spent over half my life talking into one of these things. It's amazing to me I'm still doing it. Crazy. But I want to thank a lot of people who were unfortunately not able to be here tonight, including the Mad Hatter, the guy that fired me and hired me and fired me and hired me over the course of over 44 years. And now I'm still doing it to a program called the Insubordination Train. It's on Saturday nights from 7 to midnight on the Fox. And one of the great things was, I remember years ago when I was first starting out in radio back in like 72, my parents could listen to me because the station I was working for had the tallest AM tower in the country, however. But anyways, they could pick me up living in North Minnesota. And now I've got people in Alaska and Hawaii and every place listening into the night train. I love it. Thank you, Internet. I was supposed to have been out here earlier, but as usual, I wasn't paying attention. My wife is laughing right now. All right, well, I thank you again. It's been a long, strange trip since the first time I turned on the microphone and said, "That's the Jay Giles Band." And the phones lit up, and they said, "Dummy, it's the Jay Giles Band." So anybody says to me, "Aren't you afraid you're going to make a mistake or say something you shouldn't?" I said, "No, I did that already." It started off that way. But the other thing is, I think if you do anything long enough, people eventually come to the conclusion you must know what you're doing because you've been doing it for so long. And they tend to leave you alone, which is the secret of my success. So I thank you all for being here. Thanks again to the home crowd. And don't forget, if you're online, you can do that too. All right, thanks again, and I appreciate it, all the kindness I've had. All right.
Barry Clark first started playing the drums when he was 10 years old, taking inspiration from B.B. King and John Lee Hooker and other blues artists. He has played with an extensive list of bands, including 2017 inductees High Heel and the Sneakers. Additionally, Barry has recorded with Bo Diddley and Beth McBride and has recorded many jingles and commercial studio sessions. Please welcome to the stage, Barry Clark.
Wow. What an honor. Thanks, buddy. Give him a round of applause, Roy. How about these guys? Rock and Roll Music Association here in Iowa. It's amazing. Tom, Goat Roper. His name's Rick Hilliard. Where's Rick? Goat Roper is your name. Ralph, John Rogers, all you people working your asses off. It's great. I don't have a speech. I got your picture. Got my award. Thank you very much.
Lori Hague is a multi-instrumentalist and community organizer. Lori started playing the drums in the 5th grade and went on to pick up bass and guitar along the way. In addition to her music career, Lori has worked for the past 30 years to provide opportunities for girls and women to play music and hone their skills through founding the Iowa Women's Music Festival in 1994. Lori has recently focused on mentoring a new generation of female rockers with Girls Rock Iowa City, a summer rock and roll camp for girls between the ages of 8 and 16. She considers herself a side person, always willing to jump in and add whatever she can do to make the magical process of making music happen. Please welcome to the stage, Lori Hague.
It's really been an honor to be here the last few days and to be welcomed into this fabulous music community. And thank you all for the work that you do to make this happen and all of the people who've been involved in this enormous event. You should have seen the sound check today. It was a lot of people on a stage at once. So big thanks to all the folks that work behind the scenes, who are the first ones here and the last ones to leave and who don't get to even see the show half the time. I would like to thank a few people. I would start by thanking my mom, who is not here today, but maybe she'll get to see this online later, who, when I was in 5th grade, so like a lot of the folks in the back who've come across this stage, I never wanted to do anything but be a musician and play in a band. And when I was in 5th grade, we go to the band room to declare what instrument we want to play, and Mr. Wright, the band director, says, "What do you want to play?" And I said, "I want to play drums." And he said, "Well, you don't want to play drums, you want to play clarinet or flute. Drums are so heavy." And my mom, who's a bit of a formidable individual, looked him in the eye and said, "She can play whatever she wants." Thank you, Mom. And the other individual that I would like to single out is my friend Kristen Lems, who is the mother of women's music festivals, who I had the pleasure of meeting when I was in college and who kind of plucked me out of art school and back into music for a while and let me play with her for a few years. And the thing that she gave me, besides a career for a few years, is the inspiration to that when you come upon a door that is not being opened for you and in fact is often being blocked, you can stand there and pound on the door, or you can build a new door. And Kristen built a new door with the National Women's Music Festival, and I followed in her footsteps and started the Iowa Women's Music Festival for the same reason, to give women a spot on a stage like this, and a chance to do their thing, and a chance to learn the stuff that happens backstage. And we did that for over 20 years, and now I've moved on to Girls Rock Iowa City, which has been going for 10 years now, where we're teaching kids between the ages of 8 and 14 how to be rock stars, and we're paying it forward. So for all of the women my age and older who were told they couldn't play drums because they were too heavy or it wasn't for them, you were robbed, and this is for you, and it's never too late. Thank you.
Glenn Henrickson began piano lessons at age 7 and continued through high school. At age 13, he became the organist at his hometown church. In the years following, he's played for various events, including solo piano and organ concerts, church services, weddings, and other social activities. In fact, he is a virtuoso and a member of the very popular variety band Galaxy. Please welcome to the stage, Glenn Henrickson.
Wow, what a thrill to be with you all today at this special moment. That's heavy. Thank you, Ben. You know, I was born into a loving Christian home where it was expected that we 5 children would all have piano and instrument lessons in school. And it's been a wonderful lifelong gift, and I know that so many of you also are musical in your own way. I read a quotation one time how by the time you're age 50, you're supposed to be somewhat of a professional or an expert, that people seek you out to ask advice or to give counsel. And music has been that way for me. And I know that everybody has a different style of playing. Mine is a little from all different genres, I guess you might say, from the sacred to the rock and roll. But I read a quotation from Alexander Solzhenitsyn, the Russian dissident, some years ago, and it really enhanced the way I thought about music. I thought it previously was just something you did, you know, and then you went on to do something else. But with this quote, it really elevated my thought about music. And the quote goes, "Talent places responsibility upon free will." If you think about it, it means don't hide your light under a bushel. And all of us have talents, if not music, one way or another. We're obligated to use our talents, and by it we honor God, and we bless each other as we bless ourselves. I was out at the farm working when I got the cell phone call from Becky Thorson saying, "Guess what, Glenn? You're getting older now. We decided it's time for you to be inducted into the Hall of Fame." I treasure that moment, Becky, and God bless you all for this wonderful day.
Troy Johnson is a true professional bassist. He has thousands of live and studio performances, and has countless national and international tours to his credit, including backing multi-platinum hard rock musicians. Troy is also the designer, inventor, builder, and player of the patented, of course, Big Johnson hybrid acoustic bass. When he is not, and you got to see that thing in the museum or tonight, it's an incredible thing. When he is not performing or working on improving the sound of acoustic bass, Johnson also teaches bass at Dietze Music, teaching future rockers. Please welcome to the stage, Troy Johnson.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm very honored to receive this award. And first of all, I got to thank my dad. He's here today. Without him, I would not be here. I got to thank the Iowa Music Association for this lovely show and the award, and awarding my good friends Barry Clark and Johnny Bolin already, and all the good friends that I've met here that we're going to play music with tonight. And I think That's about all I got. And then Tommy Bolin. Tommy Bolin is my inspiration for life. So thank you very much.
Vance Jorgensen has been a rock and roll guitarist and vocalist for over 44 years. He started on drums at age 7, and in 1976 started learning to play electric guitar. A year later, in 1977, formed his first band, Rimfire, with his bandmates in Fort Dodge. In recent years, Vance has been performing solo under the name Rockin' Vance, and in the band Mr. V and the Iowa All-Stars at various venues in Iowa and Minnesota. He has also played free of charge in music shows to raise funds to support needy children and the homeless. Please welcome to the stage, Vance Jorgensen. Rockin' Vance.
When I think about the real reasons for my receiving this very special and wonderful honor, I've decided I'm not important at all. There's 3 things that it took over the past 45 years for this to happen. First of all, it's been trusting audiences to come to our performances. Great folks that trusted that we would not waste their time, and we would change something and make their lives happy. Folks that came as strangers, and before the night was done or the day was done, that we became friends. And folks that stayed with us and continued to see us. And here you all are. Thank you so much. And then the second thing it took outstanding venues. Again, venues that trusted that we would earn our keep, that we would do them some good, and they would make their customers and their patrons happy. And whether it was large or small, or no matter where it was or where it was in the world that happened. Finally, it takes really outstanding bandmates. And I've been so blessed over the past 45 years, I can't even begin to name how many awesome, excellent musicians that I've had the honor to share the stage with. And, you know, I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and you helped me along my path in a really great 45-year musical journey. But I want to dedicate my induction here today to 2 very special bandmates. They can't be here because they've passed on, but 40 years ago, I played in a group called the Rockin' 88s. So I want to dedicate my induction today to my bandmates, Kevin O'Brien, multi-instrumentalist, great vocalist, could play anything and do several at one time, and drummer Rick Benson, who, in my humble opinion, was the finest vocalist anytime, anywhere in the world, Rick Benson. And I dedicate this induction to these guys. Above all, you know, the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association, you know, I've been involved since I came over in 1998 and got to know Tom Turville and John Sin, and wow, this is my family here. You've welcomed me, supported me, and I love you all, and I love everyone that's here, and I thank you so much for coming out, and I'll look forward to seeing you tonight at the Roof Garden Ballroom. Be there, be square, stay cool, Daddy-o. Thank you so much.
Chris Carr was 3 years old in 1964 when he experienced live music for the first time. He was drawn to the drums instantly. It would be all he thought about until at age 12, his parents finally gave in. At 14, he started playing clubs, performing nearly every weekend around his home city of Cedar Rapids. He then left that home and traveled on the road for 14 years. During that time, he began learning multiple instruments for songwriting. He's been performing around Iowa for the last 8 years with his solo acoustic show, his trio, the Cosmic Brownies, and the Chris Carr Band. Please welcome to the stage, Chris Carr.
Thank you, Connie and Tom Bethke. So where are my people? Awesome. So it all starts like a dream. I'm 3 years old, I see a drum set, and I'm just fascinated by that. And then a few years later, the television is on and the monkeys are on, and I'm fascinated with that. And my cousin Brenda has a record. He has a Monkees record, and I have to listen to it at my aunt and uncle's house in Vinton, Iowa, endlessly. I probably wore the grooves out of that, but she does actually still have that record. And what fascinated me most was vocals, people singing. I love to hear the human voice, and I love it when there are multiple human voices singing in harmony. It's the most important thing to me in the world. And I encourage everyone to sing. I encourage my bandmates to sing. I encourage you, the audience, to sing. You're the audience. And without you, we can't do what we do. You make everything possible for us. You, the audience, the venues, you do such a great service for us. And then folks like these, you know, it's amazing what you people do. You give us our day in the sun, and here we are. I hope that any young musicians out here will keep plugging away. Don't tell yourself no. If you really like doing this, continue to do it. You know, be determined. I was just a little kid with pop bottle glasses and buck teeth, and it was sheer determination that got me here. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you tonight. Thank you.
T. Wilson King incorporates a style that is unique and engaging. Self-taught, his music is a synthesis of folk, rock, country, gospel, and bluegrass, jazz, and blues. He grew up in Sioux City and in high school experienced the music explosion of the 60s as a lead singer in bands that played the latest hit from the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and James Brown. He picked up the guitar shortly after leaving the military, getting his start busking on street corners in the Santa Cruz area. His music has taken him to Lake Tahoe, Las Vegas, Tucson, and many more places in between. He has played with B.B. King, Santana, the Allman Brothers, Tommy Bolin, and Ramblin' Jack Elliott. Please welcome to the stage, T. Wilson King.
Thank you, Declan. Got to say, I didn't expect anything like this when I first started out. You just keep playing, try to get better every day, look for a little better gig, hope you meet some people that can help you along the way. The first gig I ever had with a rock and roll band was in between wrestling matches at the Omaha Civic. Didn't even know how to play my guitar. We were down and bought a guitar and an amp, and I just had it turned down. And I was singing with the other three guys. It was the Shadells out of Sioux City. And that pretty much set the tone for this circus that we turned into a career somehow. It's just, it's been a great road. You met a lot of people, had a lot of experiences that you probably wouldn't want to have. I was just reading the other day, it's like being a musician, where you buy $3,000 worth of equipment to put in a $500 car to drive 200 miles and make $100. And I just want to add, count your money twice. But it's a real honor to be inducted into the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with all these great people that are in it, my hometown buddy, Tommy Bolin, and also Johnny, for sure. And I just want to say thank you again very much. And I want to say the old joke that Chet Atkins said. The kid was talking to his mom, says, "Mom, when I grow up, I want to be a musician." And his mom says, "Well, you can't have it both ways." So with that, stay young, rock and roll.
Ralph Klusman is a singer, guitar player, and entertainer who has been performing for over 55 years as a solo artist, a duo with various musicians, and his Beatles tribute band. His most recent project, the band Reunion, consists of Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association Hall of Fame musicians. Ralph has many projects that he is a part of, but his most recent is the Brian Epstein Legacy Project, responsible for worldwide fundraising resulting in the new statue of Brian Epstein in Liverpool, England. He has over 45 years of business development experience. He is a business counselor for the Northeast Iowa Small Business Development Center, where he works with existing businesses and business startups in Iowa. Please welcome to the stage my friend, Ralph Klusman.
Thank you, everybody. Joe LaValle, that just handed me this award, was one of the reasons why I became involved in the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association. So to him, I forever owe a tremendous debt of gratitude. And of course, I told you earlier that John Sen played a huge part in me being a part of this. So John, I know that you're listening. But I just want to take you back through the mists of time, as Paul McCartney would say, to a young boy, 8 years old, watching a TV show. And that was me. And I want to take this opportunity right now to thank my mom, especially, and my dad, because they recognized that I must have something that's inside that needed to come out, and they encouraged that. They weren't so excited about the long hair when I had hair. But you can't ever underestimate what an 8-year-old thinks they can do. I remember telling my mom very shortly after I watched the Ed Sullivan Show that I was going to be a Beatle. She said, "I'm sure you will." You can see where that got me. And then I told her several years later, "I'm going to Liverpool," and she said, "I'm sure you will." And, you know, for my life, the thread that runs through it is really the music. And if you've heard all of what we're trying to do here, it's all about us bringing people closer together. So I want to thank my wife, Sheila, who's out in the audience today, because without her, I couldn't do any of this. So to you, I love you, so thank you. And my sister's here from Iowa City. She just surprised me. My sister from Iowa City and my sister from Estes Park, Colorado, flew over to Liverpool to see Beatle Week. I said, "You don't even come listen to me play in Dubuque." But I just want to say thank you to the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association, and I want to say thank you to all the people who make it work. I'm just one small part of a great family that's growing every single day, having an impact on people's lives that's positive. So I just celebrate that every day. And then one last thing. I've made this friend over in Liverpool, and one of the last things she said to me when we were sitting at Strawberry Field was this saying by Tolstoy. It may not ring a bell in most people's brains, but it registered with me that she said, music is love looking for a home. And I think that's true. Music is love looking for a home. And I think I found a home here. So I just want to say thank you very, very much.
Paul Miller is a bass player and singer who started playing bass guitar in 1974. He's played many venues in Southeast Iowa and music festivals such as Burlington Steamboat Days, Burlington Heritage Days, and Fort Madison's Riverfest. Paul has played the bass for the Southeast Iowa Symphony Pops concert and accompanied Bel Canto Chorale and Miss Burlington pageant early in his career. A notable career highlight for Paul is recording at Sun Studio in Memphis, Tennessee in 2019 with Tony Alexander and the B-Flat Trio. Please welcome to the stage, Paul Miller.
I want to thank the association for this wonderful honor that I never dreamt about. And my high school band director, Jim Smith, who made it possible for me to start playing the bass guitar, is something that I truly love to do. I want to thank all my bandmates, past and present. I've learned something from every one of them, and they're all wonderful people. My family for all their support, and all my friends, and most of all, my lovely wife, Sally, for her support. Everything that, gigs sometimes get in the way of other things, family things, and other activities, and she's always been there to support me. Thank you all.
In 1974, when he was 15, Tom Nelson started playing at small clubs, bars, and high school dances. During his high school years, he played in various bands, including Blue Destiny, Stonegate, Rocks, and Bandit. His most famous band, Rocks, was a trio that played originals and radio rock music. Tom has played with groups that have opened for Steppenwolf, Brownsville Station, and to Thumbs, which featured Tommy Aldridge of Black Sabbath, and Whitesnake and John Brandt of Cheap Trick. Today, he plays in two groups, Leaving Abbey and Fretworks. Please welcome to the stage, Tom Nelson.
I would like to thank the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association for helping me check this off my bucket list. It's really quite an honor. In Southeast Iowa, at the other corner of the state, this is really a big deal. So I hope you guys realize you're well represented in Southeast Iowa. So to all you people that come out and support live music, thank you. Without you, there would be no rock and roll. Thank you very much.
Sorry, it's me. Heath Allen Patchell was fortunate to be born into a musical family with parents and other family members going generations back that were musicians. By the age of 13, Heath was playing professional gigs. He also excelled musically, winning local and national merits and scholarships. He joined his first rock band while in high school, Common Household Pets, and has since been with the group The Blue Band, which is the 2007 inductee of the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association, and also created various incarnations of the Heath Allen Band. He has played numerous festivals and is currently working on putting together bands and producing shows while simultaneously working on his third album. Please welcome to the stage, Heath Allen Patchell.
One of Iowa's premier authors, Joe LaValle. What an honor to, yes. Thank you. A long heritage of wonderful music. I'm a very, very small part of, and I'm very humbled to be here. Thank you so much. Lonnie Johnson, Son House, B.B. King, Louis Armstrong, Louis Jordan, Earl Bostic, Little Richard. I thank God for my family and friends who traveled here and are attending today. Literally the hundreds, if not thousands, of friends and musicians that helped shape my musical path. To all the fans, past and present, that buy my records and come to my shows, thank you. To my sponsor, who makes my saxophones tenor, Madness. My high school band director from Cedar Falls, Jim Gosnell, for believing in me and helping me get on the right path. To Eddie Anders and Marvin Spencer for believing in me as a young kid and getting me into the studio, making records earlier than I probably should have. To Dr. John Schwabe for his mentorship, collaboration, and friendship. Joe and Vicki Price and Patrick Hazel for getting me hip to the groove. Rancho Bizarro Studios, Tom Tapman at Catamount, Sonic Factory, John Chamberlain, John Steyer. To the Blue Band for giving me a start with my writing and giving me a place to make my songs come alive. To Justin Apple, Todd Mason, and Tanner Taylor for their musical partnerships over the years. Gary Kelly and Woody Walters on the art team. Bill Landis and Linda Lewis for giving me a place to play my music on a regular basis over the years. To my mom and dad, who started me out right with a great record collection and always encouraged me not only to listen, but to make this thing happen. To my wife, Beth, you are home to me. To our two grown children who are here tonight, Dylan and Sarah, for being the best roadies a guy could ever ask for. We love you endlessly, and we are so proud of you. And lastly, again, thank you to my dear friend Joe LaValle and Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association for seeing fit to include me in this great group of people. Congratulations to all these wonderful people that I've got to meet. It's just been wonderful. Thank you.
Jim Poffenberger's first musical experience was Aerosmith and Cheap Trick in Des Moines in 1978. The loud guitars, bombastic drums, thumping bass, and the crazy audience would change his life forever. After saving up enough money from his paper route to buy his first guitar, he started practicing daily. He would join the groups Antidote and Sniper while still in high school. After high school, Jim would play in a solo act known as Lonesome Soul, and for the past 24 years has played with the group Saucy Jack. Please welcome to the stage, Jim Poffenberger.
Why can't I get this kind of turnout for one of my acoustic gigs? I really didn't have anything planned, prepared, but I just wanted to say that from the first, well, how do you sum up 42 years of performing in under 2 minutes? But from the first exposure, from that seventh grade talent assembly to having a junior high band into the high school years, and then once everybody graduates and they go their own ways, maybe you want to get back into the game and you find some new people to play with. And we had a really good run. Are there any guitar players out here? By a show of hands? Well, we got a few. You probably remember those smoky bars back in the day, but this is whether it was playing a small bar or a festival show. It didn't matter if it was 50 people or 5,000 people. This has been my life's passion, and I really have had the time of my life doing this. Thank you.
Robbie V, also known as the Prince of Twang, has been performing his unique style of rock and roll for years on stages across the globe. He has shared credits and toured with Bo Diddley, Albert Lee, Little Richard, the Everly Brothers, Sir Paul McCartney, Eric Clapton, the Righteous Brothers, Buddy Holly's Crickets, Dick Clark, and playwrights Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice, as well as his famous father, Bobby V. His Rock and Roll Caravan show is a celebration of the golden era of rock and roll. It features a tribute to his father, Robbie V, and Buddy Holly. He is also an artist spokesperson for the Alzheimer's Foundation of America. Please welcome to the stage, Robbie V.
This man is family. I actually met Robbie, Tommy, and Jeff and his father in California a few years back. And Robbie, I am so proud to present to you the Hall of Fame Lifetime Achievement Award. Congratulations.
Fans of rock and roll, are you here? Fans of rock and roll, are you here? Well, thank you so much. I joke in my show that I was raised on the back stages of American Bandstand, and it really is true. I was also raised on the back stages of here in Iowa. That's where I learned how to play rock and roll. From tractor pulls to the Bel Air Ballroom, Surf Ballroom, street dances, car shows. I think I played them all. And the first people that I met as a young kid hitting those stages, I'm still friends with most of those people today. And I had the pleasure of knowing John Zen and, of course, Thomas Golden and Connie Valens, sweetheart. Yeah. And it's an honor to come from the rock and roll legacy that I come from, the Bobby V legacy, and now the Iowa rock and roll legacy. So thank you for this honor, and the tip of the hat to V Music. And long live rock and roll.
J.C. Wilson has worked in various parts of the music industry, earning many achievements in his extensive career. He spearheaded a sound and light production department of I.R.R.M.A Music, working with various local and national touring groups. J.C. has performed at various events, including Iowa's largest music festival, Hinterland, and the Iowa State Fair. He is also a founding member of the 2016 Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association Hall of Fame inductee group, the Flying Marsupials. Since the late 1970s, JC has continually supported Central Iowa rock and roll music and musicians. He has been a musician, an equipment salesperson and consultant, a provider of sound and light production, and an owner and manager of live music venues. He has spent his entire adult life helping others pursue and achieve their musical dreams. Please welcome to the stage, J.C. Wilson.
What a hoot, what a hoot. Is this thing, what a hoot. I can't hear me now. I guess we're used to monitors a little bit, but I wanted to say congratulations myself to all the other inductees 2022 here. Congratulations and thank you to the association, 25 years of a great thing. Thanks family. I had 3 older brothers and I had a great set of parents. The retail music store experience, Music Unlimited turned into R.I.M.A Music, and eventually I bought a bar and then turned that into the House of Bricks. Thanks to all the House of Bricks employees, thanks to the patrons that made the world go around, thanks to the talent that provided thousands of shows during the House of Bricks run. The co-owner, Nancy Wilson, was just wouldn't have been a House of Bricks without Nancy Wilson. I wanted to say thanks to the ongoing bands, Flying Marsupials. Thanks, fellas, for letting me be a part of a fun and popular band. Thanks, current band, Ruckus, Rukkus. Now, what's that spelled backwards? I'm just seeing if anybody's paying attention, but the bandmates in that one is Jim Webker, Mark Hink. Thank you guys. Next year we'll have been playing together for 50 years and many more years to come. Those two gentlemen were there during the very first steps of that road that got me to here today, a lot of years ago. Thank you. And it's so kind. I mean, there's only so much time to thank so many people. I need to say thank you to the love of my life, EJ. Thank you for dealing with today's gyrations. And I'm going to leave you all with a great suggestion from the late, great Warren Zevon, a favorite of mine. Enjoy every sandwich. Thank you all.
Tom K. Pick was a prominent recording engineer behind the glass inside RCA Studio B, where the Nashville sound was born. Tom trained at DeVry Technical Institute in Chicago before finding work at Boulevard Studios and eventually RCA Studios in Chicago. From there, he worked at various studios, including RCA Studio B, Merritt Recording Studio, and Fireside Studio. He engineered several records that went gold and platinum and won 8 Grammy Awards as a producer and engineer. Please welcome to the stage, on behalf of Tom Pick, his daughter, Diane Hannigan.
Thank you. I'm Tom's daughter, Diane. He would be so proud of this moment. He absolutely loved 3 things in this world: his family, Pick's Resort on Westlake Okoboji, and music. And imagine a small town boy from Remsen, Iowa, going on to pursue his love of music to Nashville, Tennessee. We are so proud of him, and I know he's looking down on us right now and is so proud of this moment. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
At an early age, Jen Brucher was practicing music with her sister, playing along with records. This would lead to an extensive music career, playing with various groups. Jen has joined groups playing various genres, including rock, metal, and blues. She co-owned a coffee house in Cedar Falls called The Garden, which encouraged all types of music, art, poetry, and dance performed by students, aspiring musicians, local professionals, and regional acts. Today, Jen plays with Zoot and Newt and the band Marshall J. Jen also writes daily music news and runs a history Facebook page called Women of Rock and Roll. Please welcome to the stage, Jen Brucher.
First of all, I'd like to thank my family and my friends for your support. And I'd also like to thank the bandmates that I've had over the past few decades. And I'd especially like to thank the board and the consultants and members of the Iowa Rock and Roll Music Association for including me in this class of 2022 with so many incredible musicians who I've met and who you're going to see today. And I would especially thank you also for my category, which is Women Who Rock. and to put me in this category with musicians like Wanda Jackson, Brenda Lee, Alice DeBurr, and Jan Keenemund. It means everything to me. Thank you.
Kelly James has been singing in bands and musical theater for almost 50 years. She's performed in productions of Godspell, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Hair, and Evita, as well as a leading role in Les Miserables on Broadway. The Royal Albert Hall, the London Palladium, Central Park in New York City, the Ryman Auditorium, the Greek Theater, and music festivals throughout the US and Canada. Kelly now owns her own performing arts studio in Scottsdale, Arizona. She's helped kids and artists reach their own goals of performing on Broadway, recording in Nashville and LA, and acting in TV and film. Please welcome to the stage the tremendous Kelly James.
I told him I didn't quite know why I was here because I'm a Broadway actor, but I'll tell you about that later. You know, I'm just a small town girl from Iowa, but I had big dreams. I never can remember a time that I didn't want music to be my life, and I always wanted to travel the world. And I got both of those things. And then the universe threw the theater into it. And I feel like I hit the artistic trifecta. I want to thank my friend David, who opened the door for me, and Andrew Lloyd Webber for walking me through that door. I want to thank my father for buying me that upright piano at a farm auction for $25. She was a beauty. I want to thank my brothers for letting me pound on that piano and sing at the top of my lungs for years and never telling me to stop. I want to thank my husband, Sean. He once said to me, you know, it really looks like a lot of fun what you do, singing. What does it take? I said, well, first of all, tone and pitch, which you have neither of. And thank my students for their inspiration every day. I want to thank my Aunt I.R.R.M.A for giving me free rein to create anywhere at any time. And finally, I want to thank my mother. Without her, I wouldn't be here, and that sounds obvious, but it's true. Thank you, Mom, for giving me your beautiful voice and giving me your beautiful heart. This is for the Bow Sisters, Mom. We did it. And to quote another famous Midwesterner, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Thank you, Iowa Rock and Roll Association of Music. Thank you for letting me put Tabor on the map.
From early 1965 until late 1972, the Blue Strings traveled the Midwest, playing great music in Southwest Iowa, Southeast Nebraska, South Dakota, and Northwest Missouri. The group played as a five-piece band, performing classic rockabilly, rock and roll, and country music of the day. During their career, the group recorded several singles and played in various venues, with their shows in very high demand. Today, the group members still remain great friends. Please welcome to the stage, the Blue Strings.
Thank you, Donovan. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fred Bartholomew. I'm the oldest living original Blue String member, and I'd like to introduce you to all our members. We haven't been together for over 50 years. On the right is Mike Streeter, originally from Thurman, Iowa, now living in Nashville, Tennessee area. Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom Campbell, our lead guitarist and player, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Mr. Bruce Ross, our bass player, Glenwood, Iowa. Mr. Rick Taylor from Hendersonville, Tennessee, our big drummer. We have two drummers. We have Mike Streeter was a drummer, and they both play guitar also, and vocals. We have Dennis Bottoms from Illinois. He is a piano player and the best banjo player in this whole country. And I also have some of our deceased players that we had originally. I'm going to have to look at it. I just met two of these gals on Thursday. I hadn't seen them for years. So I have Joy Dysart, this is the widow of Larry Taylor on the far end. We have Judy Taylor, the widow of Ivan Taylor Jr., that was our leader. We have Linda Pesic, that was Donnie Brown's. He was one of our first players that we had to come along. We had a 4-piece combo when we first started out, and then we kind of migrated to a 5-piece band. So congratulations, ladies. I especially want to honor someone that was the head of our band, Mr. Ivan Taylor Jr. So he's the reason we're here tonight. And I want to thank everybody so much. I'm so proud to receive this award, and I will receive the awards for all of us. I love these people. They're my brothers and sisters, and thank you so much.
Gray James was formed in 1975 out of Mason City, Iowa, setting out to create a hard rock band with a stage show and performance style that rivaled any national act. From 1977 to 1982, Gray James played every major ballroom and club across Iowa and the upper Midwest, opening for several national touring groups. The band ventured into several different studios to record original material, and the resulting recordings received airplay over various radio stations. Gray James helped other musicians get their start, including Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Dave Ellefson. Please welcome to the stage, Gray James.
How y'all doing? We would specifically need to thank our parents because as young lads, I'm sure we drove them nuts, practicing and touring and being crazy. So a shout out to all the parents. And then we have to recognize you guys, the fans, because you guys packed the ballrooms, whether it was 100 degrees or snowing a blizzard outside. And you were always there to support us. Without you guys, we would not be up here. If you ever went to one of our shows, you saw a massive stage set up with pyro and fog and tons of equipment and lights. Well, that didn't come easy because we needed a crew that would run all that behind the scenes because all you saw basically was us on stage. So we need to give a few recognitions to our past crew, Wheeze, Petey, Smoot, Bobby, Brother Charlie. Without those guys, the circus wouldn't go on. And we have to also point out our sound man at the time, Don Higgins, because a sound man in front of house crafts your sound that the people hear. So we have to give a shout out to Don. Yeah, Don. All right, with that being said, we are anxious to perform tonight. Ron, Jay, and myself, we're going to rock the roof garden for you guys.
The legendary show band, The Library, was formed in 1967 in Mason City, Iowa. The original lineup included young but experienced musicians from the Shadows, the Persuasions, and the Pete Clint Quintet. The library played all of the hot spots in the tri-state area. Venues included the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, the Roof Garden in Lake Okoboji, and So's Your Uncle in La Crosse, Wisconsin. The group even recorded singles in 1968 and again in 1970. Please welcome to the stage, The Library.
We got a big band. Well, thank you very much. It's really is an honor, and the library's tried. We've been trying for a long time to get in, so keep it up. Don't ever give up. And we started in '67, formed from some bands in North Iowa. One was Pete Clint Quintet and some other local bands, and then we formed the library. We played all over the Midwest, all the ballrooms. There's a few members that aren't with us tonight, and I want to get their names in there before I forget. Mike Watts was a drummer, John Tyler, bass player, Jeff Dahlstrom played trumpet, and Dennis Baker played trumpet, and we are sorry they can't be with us tonight. We had 3 bands. The first band played for a couple years. And like I said, we had some recordings. The neatest thing about our recording in Chicago, we did record at IGL also, but we never finished there. And we went on to Chicago at Universal Studios. We went in the morning. About 12 hours later, we came out, and the town had gone crazy because of the Democratic Convention. That was in 1967. There was horses, police beating on our buses, and we got out of town in a hurry. So I'm going to turn this over to Larry Weldon. He knows the last band real well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, I think I speak for the entire band. We'd like to thank Jim, especially. He was the key cog in the wheel that started this band, drove it through many years, and then it was taken over, and eventually here we are. So we, in this process, trying to figure out who was going to come here, we tried to contact everyone. There are over a dozen members that were in this band that are no longer with us. And we have a representative generationally in Scott, right here, back here, where is he? Yep. His dad, Jack Dawson, was the last singer of this band, and he was inducted also in 2 other bands, plus Scott was inductee too. So it's a kind of a family thing. We appreciate it. We love you. Come see us tonight. We're going to rock the roof.
The Pendletons formed in 1965 in West Des Moines and quickly became a favorite at college and high school dances. During its 6-year career, the band won many battles of the bands competitions, appeared regularly on the Bill Riley Talent Search, and performed annually at the Iowa State Fair. The group became one of Iowa's best paid acts, appearing at corporate events and popular venues around the state. The Pendletons even ventured into the studio, recording several singles of band member Steve Farrell. Please welcome to the stage the Pendletons.
Thank you very much. It's great looking. Thank you so much for that. The Pendletons started it at Valley High School in West Des Moines in 1965 and enjoyed 6 years touring this region. Great time. And being inducted along with me today, Mike Waters and Tom Stevenson became like brothers to me. We spent thousands of hours traveling and performing together. Also being inducted, our drummer Bill Quinlan, who gave up music to become a successful orthopedic surgeon. And Bob Beavers, who was a terrific bass player and singer and womanizer. He may have fathered many of you who are here today. Time will tell. Thanks to disc jockey Jim Michaels, who produced our first single, Fever Dream, and made sure it got radio play. Special thanks to Bill Riley, who got us on TV when I was still 12 years old and kept us there every year through our existence and at the State Fair. And then 20 years later, when I was hosting the children's television game show Secrets Out, he made sure it got on the air here on the PBS affiliates, and so he continued to help me. And finally, a thanks to a man who, without his help, we would never have been able to do it. My father, who came from a musical family and was our manager and agent for all the time we were together, and continued to manage my career until his death in 2011. Bob Farrell, we couldn't have done it without you, so this is for you too, buddy. Thank you very much.
The Unidines formed in 1989 in Clinton, Iowa. Over their career, the group has performed as Bo Diddley's backing band and shared the stage with Bo Ramsey and Greg Brown. The Unidines have recorded 4 albums and have had their songs featured on various cable shows, including the Osbournes. Their 2016 album, Tale of the Comet, pays homage to Jack Schmalfelt, inspired by his quote, "Catch a hold of the tail of the comet, boys. It'll be a hell of a ride." Please welcome to the stage the Unidines.
For me? Yep. Is this on? Thank you, the association. It's pretty incredible what you people have done over the years here. And I need to thank one person. He's not here with us, but the founding member of this band, Jack Schmalfelt, succumbed to cancer in 2008. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't probably be here. So a big thanks to him. And I want to thank all of the band wives because they put up with a lot of, Thank you.
Zini was founded in the town of Lamoni, Iowa in 1972 by a group of students attending Graceland University. Zini's music ranged from rock and roll to blues and country rock and good old country. During the 70s and 80s, the band traveled in a converted school bus painted blue with rollers and brushes. In 1979, the group released their album Better Than a Kick in the Teeth, which received strong regional reviews and radio play. Please welcome to the stage, Zini.
My name is Greg Sutherland. I'm one of the founding members of Zini, and I'm painfully aware that we are the only thing holding you here today. When we 50 years ago, just shy of 50 years ago, when we were thinking of names of band, we thought there are some advantages with Zini. It's short, it doesn't mean anything, and records are easy to find at the end of the alphabet. So, but I sense that's working against us maybe here today, huh? You guys are ready to go home. Hey, all the band members are here. I've got John Smith, Gary Goodfellow, Chris Meraldo, Keith Keinert, and Keith Mangili. We're missing one really important guy that played a big role in this band. His name is Jim Fishwild, and he lives in Boise, Idaho, and couldn't make it here today. I'm going to talk a little more about him. I am honest going to keep this short. I have a reputation that I have to uphold. Before I do that, though, there's so many people to thank, and you've heard others out here thanking others, and I've learned a long time ago, it really pays to thank the people that help you along the way. And the people that we have probably the most thankfulness for are the members of our family. If you haven't heard it before, being a family member of a rock and roll musician is not always an easy task. And I want to be sure that I name at least our wives here today. And so most of them would probably have wished that we would have had a little more normal life than a rock musician, but they hung with us, they encouraged us, and we're so thankful for that. So I want to thank, and several of them are here today, so I want to be sure to include them. We have Christy is here today. We have Kim here. We have Kathy is here, and I want to thank Susan as well. And I have to look back to see who I maybe missed. Mary is out here in the audience, and of course Julie is out there, and my Barbara Ann couldn't be here. But we thank them for all their support. It's tremendous over the years. Like you've heard from a lot of others, lots of people help groups like us. And we had road crew, we had agents, we had photographers, we had all kinds of people that helped. And 50 years and time prohibit me from telling you all their names, but we thank them for all the hard work that they did to support us. I want to, tonight we're going to do a song that was written by our friend Jim, who isn't here, and I'm going to recite a few lyrics. And there's musicians out here, and a lot of you musicians will be able to relate to these. So here are the lyrics to the song. Never should have drank that tequila last night. I never should have asked him if he wanted to fight. I never should have busted that sink in the bar, and I never should have danced on the hood of my car. I paid for all the fun that I had last night, staring down the stool in the morning light. I'd have sold my soul just to ease the pain. I'm never going to put myself through that again. Well, that's what I'm here to testify to. We kept at it. We did it every time, and we had a lot of fun. We got to play the music we loved, and we hope that we touched some lives along the way. And we really appreciate the Music Association's recognition of our efforts and all the other bands' efforts here. Thank you so much for this honor. It's a wonderful thing.
Well, in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I am so grateful and sincerely humbled to be the executive director of this association. What makes me get up and go to work every day is what you see tonight, and the emotion, the love of music. It's something that has touched me since I was a little kid. I remember back listening to KOMA in Oklahoma City when I was a little boy and thinking the Beatles were really there and trying to get my parents to take me there, you know? So it is just an honor and a privilege to be here with you all. And this whole weekend would not be possible without a huge team of staff, volunteers, and sponsors. So I want to take just a minute to thank them. First of all, our sponsors. I have to do a special thank you because I kind of missed it, and this is something that should not be missed. How many of you went to the taco bar last night at our museum? All right, Charlie Walker of Walker Law, he donated $1,000 to help pay for that meal. So a special thank you to Charlie. I.R.R.M.A Construction, Mr. Dave Luna, Humana, the John Wallace Music Legacy, Lewis Drug, Arnold's Park Amusement Park, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Sioux City, KUOO and Q102, Quick Star, the Turner Genis Family Funeral Homes, Westo Beer. So tonight at the Roof Garden, and if you haven't tried it already, we have a special beer that Westo made for us. They gave it to us, folks. So when you buy a can of beer, it goes to help our association. So it'll be available at the Roof Garden tonight. It's called Soy Capitan from La Bamba. And Gary Hetty back here. Wave your hands, Gary. Gary is, and I want to thank him and the Sami Center, which is this place, and the Spirit Lake Schools for letting us do this. But it's Gary's birthday today, ladies and gentlemen. And Gary's taking his birthday to make sure that our sound stays on, our lights stay on, and everything else. And I want to thank the many other sponsors that are mentioned in our yearbook, and you check that out with all the events and so forth. Now our staff, quickly. Special thanks, very special thanks, to Maddie Tesh. And I don't know, Maddie, if she'll come out here for a second. Maddie, I don't know if you can hear me. Maddie, she may not want to. But anyway, if Maddie appears, I want you to know that she designed that yearbook. She laid it out. She did all the artwork. She did the posters. She coordinated everything with the inductees. She's done all the museum exhibits. And she keeps me in line, which is the hardest job of all. I want to thank Chris Block. She's the person you may not see because she's moving so fast. She's running around taking care of all the everything's going on. Patsy Donovan, Mason Frangenberg and Madison Lambert, who were our interns this year. Sharon London and Jill Dirks. Becky Brockman and our whole army of volunteers. Our wonderful regional consultants, our tremendous board of directors, and of course, our founders, Tom Tourville and the late John Sen. I just can't thank you all enough.
We want to remind you that there is an autograph session. If you'd like to have an autograph, we're going to give you that opportunity in just a moment. And if you need assistance to get to the stage, please ask one of the ushers and they'll be glad to help you. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the class of 2022 to the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
So ladies and gentlemen, feel free to come up here to the stage and get your autographs.